The sound design of Chainsaw Man is one of the most revolutionary aspects of the anime. Yes, even more so than the animation. There's 3 ways in which Chainsaw Man uses sound that are either absolutely game-changing or downright genius in their execution that they might change anime forever. In this video, I'll be going over all 3 of those in detail, so stick around. Hello and welcome back, my filthy weebs. It's your friendly neighborhood degenerate, and today we're talking about the evolution of art and the future of anime. Don't worry, it's not that serious. I'm just making this stuff up as I go. Ever since the inception of anime as a storytelling medium, there have been many shows that left their mark on the anime world and became a precedent for the entire industry. Think of Gundam, the hallmark of mecha, or Akira with its futuristic animation, or Ghost in the Shell, the standard for sci-fi world building, or Neon Genesis Evangelion with its character-driven expressionist style of storytelling. There's also Cowboy Bebop, Berserk, One Piece, hell, even Sailor Moon. However, as we move into the 2000s, we see less and less anime that were as influential and impactful on the industry and the evolution of anime as a medium as the ones I've mentioned. Why though? It's not because of the lack of quality shows either, as many of you would be all too eager to tempestuously point me in the direction of Death Note or FMAB. That means angrily, by the way. I just looked that up to sound smart. I think it's working. So what's the reason? Well, there's a simple answer to that. As time passed and anime as a storytelling medium evolved, standardized practices started accumulating one on top of the other until we had a solid, successful anime formula that doesn't fail and therefore doesn't change. In other words, what worked was made a part of the anime making process and what didn't was thrown out the window. However, it does not necessarily mean that the formula is infallible, and even if it works, there's no room for improvement. Think power of friendship, and I'll explain my move in detail, and long ass inner monologues, and harems, fucking harems. They work, but they're not, objectively speaking, good storytelling tools, and therefore better alternatives must be explored. This is where anime like Chainsaw Man come in. Now, like I said, there's 3 ways in which Chainsaw Man utilizes sound that is very different from the way it's normally done in anime. These would be emphasis, storytelling, and atmosphere. I will be using one scene as an example for each of these because that would be enough to get my point across, and I don't want this video to be half an hour long. So let's start with emphasis. Take the following scenario as an example. Let's say you have a friend, the very annoying kind. We all have that, don't we? That one loud, obnoxious guy in the group who embarrasses you everywhere. Unless you are the annoying friend, in which case, fuck you. Now, whenever this friend sees you, he comes up behind you and slaps you in the back of the head. It's very annoying and painful, but you put up with it because you're friends. And he does that every time you meet, to the point that it becomes a normal routine. But one day you see your friend and he doesn't do that. He doesn't slap you, he doesn't embarrass you, he does nothing. Would that be odd? Yes, very much so. Why? Because it's not normal. It's not what you're used to. Now consider the following scene. Did you see that? Did you get that? What did you hear when the snake devil disappeared? That's right, nothing. It didn't make a single sound, which sounds weird, like it's missing something. And that is because whenever someone or something disappears on screen, there's always an accompanying sound effect. Maybe a popping sound, maybe some weird magic-y, music-y bullshit. We are so used to hearing that sound effect that its absence feels weird. And what that weirdness does is emphasize the act itself. I remember going, whoa, what the hell, when that happened. But it makes sense, right? It's something disappearing. One moment it's there, the next it's gone. It's not like it's drilling a hole in the space-time continuum. Technically, it shouldn't make a sound, I guess. And this is not the only time Chainsaw Man does that. The overall use of sound effects and background score is very minimal in the anime, which gives it a sense of realism and grittiness that I really like. The second thing I want to talk about is storytelling, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's when the anime uses sound to tell a part of the story. And I don't mean creating tension or evoking certain emotions. I mean telling the story, as in literally what's happening on screen. As an example, I will use this beautiful train assassination scene. Let's get to it. As we see the people in front of and behind Makima's scene disappear from view, we know that something is wrong. Then over this one somewhat static shot of Makima, we hear the hitmen open zippers on their bag, hoping against hope that the zippers are in fact on their bags and not, you know, on something else. Then we hear the clackety sound as they pull out their guns, and then the sound of the guns cocking, and then we see a gun barrel slide into the corner of the frame. By that time, we already have an idea what's happening. We go from oh dear, something's not right, to sweet baby Jesus, we are fucked beyond hope, without actually seeing anything, which is brilliant on part of the creative team. This leads us to my third and final point. Atmosphere. Now, most anime use a background score to give character to a scene. It could be an establishing shot or a dialogue between two people, and the type of score determines what type of atmosphere we're in. Could be tense, it could be scary, or it could be relaxing or even comedic. Chainsaw Man does the exact opposite by taking the score out and using white noise. As an example, in this case, consider the Eternity Devil arc in episodes 5 and 6.
って言ってるだろ。私たち There is no background score whatsoever the entire time Denji and the gang are in the hotel, except in two situations: when they find out that they're stuck on the 8th floor and whenever a devil attacks. There's also a flashback which has a score, but it's a flashback. The rest of the time there's just white noise and other background noises like this clock ticking, because the theme is time, because it's the Eternity Devil. Get it? Time, eternity, forget it. The tension builds slowly as the guys keep losing their shit, and the devil keeps getting stronger until it finally explodes with the Again, this is not the only example. The anime does it again and again, and the result is truly sublime. It's beyond immersion. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And there you have it. 3 ways in which Chainsaw Man uses sound that are totally different from how they are usually done. Now bear in mind, some of these techniques have been used in the past, but not to this effect. And most of those anime were not mainstream, so it never actually caught on. So let's hope they stick this time and change how we hear anime forever. With that, congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Hit the like button and the dislike button and the subscribe button and the bell button and the comment button. Comment down below. Comment about the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.